What's going on, guys? I am doing this one live while I work simply because I don't have time right now to stop and do a video. I know a number of you have sent messages, etc., made comments wanting to check in on me. I appreciate that. I know I hadn't gotten anything up in a while, a couple of weeks now actually. I have literally had my head buried right where you see it, working and trying to get stuff out. So just know that right now I can't see comments other than when they flash up on the screen. So if I don't respond to your comment, I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see them. They flash by real quick. I'm not where I can stop. I've got to keep working because lots of people are wanting their gear. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm not looking at you and being respectable. You just got to deal with what you get. So, of course, everyone's obviously dealing with the same thing right now with our little Charlie Victor bug that's going around. And a couple of things I wanted to touch base with on that note. First off, that's a bit of a pet peeve. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to be preaching to the choir because it's probably not going to be applicable to most of y'all. But while this is all going on, people need to keep something in mind. We operate in a capitalist society with a free market economy. Well, some semblance of a free market economy. We haven't had a true free market economy in quite a long time. In fact, I would be willing to bet probably most of you watching this have not ever experienced a true capitalist free market economy. A true capitalist free market economy is a wonderful thing. However, there are some people that don't like it. And that's kind of one of the first points I wanted to touch on. I've seen on social media and other videos, etc., where people are griping about prices. There's something that you need to understand. In a free market economy, there is no such thing as price gouging. It does not exist. There's only one thing that sets prices, and that is supply and demand. That's it. The market dictates the prices and nothing else. So, in that vein, see people getting upset when companies jack prices up on stuff. Well, let me make an example. People are all freaking out because store shelves are empty of toilet paper. Still ain't figured that one out yet, but whatever. Now, with Joe and Karen and everybody else running there and grabbing 15 cases of toilet paper at a time, wipes the shelves out pretty quick. And there's nothing the stores can do about it because of so-called anti-price gouging laws. Well, think about this. If stores were allowed to raise the prices on objects that are in high demand, that will slow people down from buying them. Now, it may cost more than what you want to pay for it, but it is what it is. What will happen is it keeps the supply more stable, because instead of Joe and Karen running in there and buying 15 cases, when the price goes up, they may only buy 2, which keeps that supply more steady. It keeps it so that everybody's not just grabbing, whatever willy-nilly off the shelf. It becomes self-regulating. Now, I use that one as an example just because it's a popular one. Popular item right now, rather. But keep in mind, even when gun stores and related firearms businesses jack prices up on stuff, sorry to disappoint you folks, but there's nothing wrong about that. There's nothing morally wrong about it. There's nothing legally wrong about it. Companies should be able to set prices for their products based on demand and what the market's willing to pay. If you're not willing to pay the price that a company is asking, you simply don't buy it. You go somewhere cheaper. If enough people do that, then the company with the high price will be forced to either sit on their product and not sell it, or they'll lower the price. I can tell you, I know very few companies that want to just sit on product. It costs them money to do that. So don't be too quick to start jumping on companies when prices are raised. You're not owed any specific price to buy a product at, okay? We may not like the prices. You ain't gotta like them. But they are what they are. The market dictates the price, period. Just a little something to keep in mind so that you don't go jumping on companies and calling them morally corrupt and all this other nonsense. No, if they've got an item and they want to charge X number of dollars for it and somebody's willing to pay it, then they are fully within their market, free capitalist market right to sell it for that price. Okay? Nobody's forcing you to pay for it or buy it at that price. Moving on, because I'll rant about that for a long time. I'm still going to continue saying what I have been saying about this disease and situation. There is a lot we do not know and a lot we are not being told. And anyone, in my opinion, that tells you anything definitive about the disease or the situation, I find highly suspect. And that includes people still touting the old, the flu kills more people than this. You don't know that, and you're a liar if you say you do, because this thing hasn't been around a year, so you can't say that the flu is more deadly. Once you've got a year's worth of stats with this, then you can compare it to a year's worth of stats of the flu. That's when you can start making those conclusions. As far as a response to it, I don't know what's the right response right now, to be honest with you. I know we don't want it to spread, because another good analogy there is you can eat 3 Skittles at a time and you're okay. But try eating 3,000 at one time and see what happens. It'll choke the life out of you. Well, this is kind of the same way. Low numbers of the disease, people getting sick, trickling in, won't overload the healthcare system. But if we start getting thousands at a time sick simultaneously in a short period of time, that can easily overload the healthcare system. Bad juju. Flip side of that, like I've said from the beginning, my biggest concern about all this was going to be the economic impact, because I had a bad feeling of what was going to be done, and part of what I was concerned about is what's happening. Markets are going nuts. People are having to stay home from work. Businesses are not making their normal money. And now Congress is injecting not millions, not billions, but trillions of dollars into the economy to try to stimulate it and save it. And it's a catch-22. Make no mistake. If they don't do something, we are heading for a serious, serious economic situation. But if they do something, that could also have serious, serious economic implications. It's really a bad, bad situation. So, the best thing I can tell you is what we're doing. We are watching things closely, staying calm, which is easier to do when you're prepared for things ahead of time. Makes it a lot easier to do. I don't like to be around a lot of people anyway, so the whole staying away from people is not a really difficult thing for me for the most part. We've made a couple of trips to the store here and there just to kind of pad existing stocks, make what we've got on hand last a little bit longer, as long as we can, just in case. But we're fairly well set. If we need to go to alternate location, we can. However, my wife and oldest son are still working from home. Youngest son still has to go into work, albeit his hours have been dramatically cut. And if we pack up and go to our other place, I can't keep working and getting gear out. So I'm trying to play a balancing act of when do we play it safe and go versus when do we not. And right now, the post office is still running and picking up stuff, so I'm going to try to keep getting stuff shipped out to folks as quick as I can. I am starting to see some supply issues from some of my suppliers just because of capacity and shipping issues, them getting raw materials in. But nothing too bad yet. So it's all kind of a waiting game right now, where we all pretty much don't have too much of a choice but to sit back and watch and wait and be ready to move at a moment's notice if we need to. I know there's a lot of folks concerned about martial law and all that, and I would encourage you to go look at the numbers of how many National Guard troops are in your state, and then go look at the population of your state's two largest cities. I think you may be in for a wee bit of a surprise when you do that and look at what would be needed to implement such a thing on a large scale basis. The numbers do not jive. It's going to be an extraordinarily hard thing to do. I'm not so sure I agree with the president's assessment that everything is going to be back going somewhat similar to normal in just a couple of weeks. I think that might be optimistic thinking on his part, maybe some wishful thinking, because he is a businessman, and as a businessman he understands the economic impact that is taking place right now. And I still hold that the economic impact should be something that greatly, greatly concerns all of you. It is not to be taken lightly. However, I think he's walking a precarious line, which I wouldn't want to be in the man's shoes right now, to be honest with you. Because he's got to give businesses and the market some kind of hope that things are going to straighten out. But at the same time, in a couple of weeks, if we're still in the same boat we're in now, or worse, then you know that the media is going to jump all over that and just try to burn him down on what he's already said. So I don't know. Again, just watch and listen. Be very careful too, folks, what you listen to in the news, in social media, etc. Because boy, there's a lot of disinformation, bad information, people who think they know what they're talking about and don't. A lot of statements that if you were where you could hold people accountable and ask them direct questions, such as to define certain parameters for the argument that they're making, they will be completely unable to do so. So just be careful what you buy into. This is a serious situation. Is it as bad as we're being told? I don't know. It could be worse. It could be not as bad. I'm not in a position to know such things. But what you can do is just watch what's going on around you and then make your plans and decisions from there. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to point out to y'all. Can't remember now. My brain's fried lately. Not a lot of sleep and a lot of stuff going on in the head between trying to get work done and pay attention to things, make preparations for the family, take precautions, etc., etc. Again, I know some of y'all have messaged and checked in. Yes, I'm fine. I haven't done any videos just because I have not had time. I just have not had time. So, on that note, I think I'm gonna call it quits. Just wanted to give you guys an update. Still here, working and sewing. You guys take care and keep doing what you're doing. Keep an eye on things, and we'll see you later.